Welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Great. Good morning, Chair Lively and members of the committee. My name is Emily Moore, and I'm the Director of Climate and Energy at Sightline Institute. Sightline is an independent, nonpartisan research and policy organization that has worked for more than 30 years on sustainability in the Northwest. I'm here today testifying in support of HB 3628. Oregon needs a reliable, robust electric transmission system to meet the state's growing demand for power and achieve its clean electricity goals that are outlined in HB 2021. Right now, the grid is reaching capacity, and it can take upwards of 20 years to build new transmission lines. HB 3628 would help Oregon proactively plan for and develop critical transmission projects through the creation of a state transmission authority. A state transmission authority can lower the cost and time it takes to build new lines, benefiting Oregonians who are struggling already with rising utility bills. States including Colorado and New Mexico, as we've heard, have created similar state authorities with success, and the Washington State Legislature right now is contemplating doing the same. A state transmission authority is an especially good idea today when the Bonneville Power Administration, the largest owner and operator of transmission in the Northwest, could lose up to 20% of its staff due to federal workforce reductions. Oregon can and should step up to fill the gap. I'm happy to answer questions and work with members of the committee to keep the bill moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Representative Osborne.
Thank you, Chair Lively. She actually brought up something I've been sitting here thinking about. As we're losing funding right now because of the current presidential administration, are we creating a bridge to nowhere by creating an organization that's going to oversee something that we're not going to be able to fund and actually build? Are we getting ahead of ourselves on this? That's my question to the presenter. Thank you.
I can take a first pass, but I don't know if someone else, Rep. Gamba, what you want to answer as well. I don't think so. In fact, I think it's the opposite. We are seeing these federal workforce reductions, of course, and I think Nicole mentioned in her testimony how important the Bonneville Power Administration is right now for the region's grid, but I think there's a lot up in the air as to the extent to which it's going to step up to fill that need for our growing electricity demand in the region. And so given that uncertainty, I think it's an especially good idea for Oregon to assume leadership on building out the electric grid. I don't see it as a bridge to nowhere in any way. In fact, I think it's stepping up in the face of federal uncertainty.
Follow up on that, quick one.
Sure.
Thank you for your answer. And based on your answer, can you tell me what percentage of funds that would actually fall back on federal funding to create the electricity that you're asking for? I'm sure you've done some studies on this because I can't remember the number, but it was 851 gig or something like that. I know the state can't afford to pay for all that. So what percentage of that is going to be paid for by the federal government?
Are you referring to the actual electricity generation?
Right. We're creating a power line that's going to go to something that doesn't exist yet. So if we're going to create something that we're going to create a bunch of power, somebody's got to pay for that. And I'm just curious what the percentage of federal funds are compared to state funds. You don't have to answer that now. You can send me an email.
So the question the number you were looking for is 182 gigawatts.
Okay.
And those are predominantly solar and wind projects that have private funding. They are ready to develop right now. What they lack is the transmission capacity to put that energy on. All of its energy that we need, you've got the big loads, Amazon, Facebook, all of those really large energy users are continuing to put new facilities in our state. That energy's got to come from somewhere. They would happily contract with those developers of energy sources if we had the transmission capacity to get the electricity from point A to point B.
Thanks for your answer.